Hello everyone, welcome to the channel if you're new, welcome back if you're a subscriber. Special thanks to all my patrons. My name's Neil and it's time for another episode of QI. This is one of, I think this might be Steven's last series. It's Series M. I'm not sure exactly how many he did, but I think N was Sandy's first. But we're definitely getting towards the end of Steven's run here. This is episode 5. It's another recommendation from you, the viewers. Keep those recommendations coming. I've got a long list that I'm working through, but if it gets recommended to me, I will eventually watch it. I promise you that. This one is episode 5, like I said, Maths, and I see that it features Aisling Bea, who we like, and it's also got Sandy as a guest, so that's fun. I don't know how much math is going to be explicitly questioned in this episode, but I am a maths nerd, so I will be embarrassed if I do poorly on this one, although let's face it, the questions will be designed to trick. Anyhow, I'm excited to jump into this one. Let's find out why it was recommended. Episode 5 from Series M, Maths. Why do you pluralize maths, by the way? It's just math for us. I know you guys think that's ridiculous, but it's not readings, it's not literatures, so why is it maths? I don't know.
And welcome to QI, where tonight we're doing the maths and making the money. The irrational Aisling Bea. The recurring Susan Calman. A prime example, Sandy Toksvig.
And the odd
of Ethel Alan Davis. We've asked a random selection of our studio audience to guess how many sweets are in this jar. And we want each member of the panel to do the same, right?
Okay.
So the winner would get to call themselves Smarty Pants.
Of course.
Can I just check that they are actually sweets?
I've done it already.
Wow.
Done it.
2,150.
Now, what was this man very good at doing with his fingers? This man being the man sitting down with the crowd.
Is the man in the middle Jesus?
No.
I know that face from somewhere.
We're in the Old Testament.
Is that King Solomon?
Daniel. He had the ability to interpret
Dreams.
dreams. And the king whose dreams he interpreted was
Happy.
King Happy. Nebuchadnezzar?
Farius.
Nebuchadnezzar.
Nebuchadnezzar.
Who was
Yes.
king of
All
Nod.
things around him.
Babylon.
He was.
And the Babylonians were very good at doing what with their fingers?
Gardening.
What's the theme of our show
Babylon-
tonight?
Counting,
Add
I'm going to assume.
Maths.
They had a counting system on their fingers, which was different from ours.
Oh, they did the
One, two,
they
three.
went 1, 2, 3.
They went the
four-
joints
yeah,
of the fingers.
joints, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then they put the thumb up. And so on until
So
they
they
got
got
to
a-
60, which is 5 iterations of 12.
Well, it's the hours of the day, is it?
Hours of the day, 60 minutes.
It's minutes.
in an hour.
Minutes of the hour.
60 seconds in the
Seconds.
morning.
And any other number. I've got 2, 3, 4, 6, 8.
Oh, Alan, you're on
12.
fire.
8 doesn't go into 60, by the way, though, Alan.
It's factorizable, and therefore it's a much more natural way.
When you want to say to someone, it's one, I just want one, you know, across the room.
Yeah.
Get me 2, get me 2. How do you do that? You have to go like that. If you go like that, it means 3. You get 3 of everything.
It's a very
only gonna tell you this 3
interesting
more
question.
If you were Roman, that would be 5, wouldn't
Yeah.
it?
Now, last night I tossed 2 heads at the same time. What are the chances?
No, I think I misunderstood. I misunderstood.
2 coins at the same time.
1 and 4.
Yeah, going there.
So I'm tempted to say 1 in 3, but I bet it's not.
Well,
That's definitely wrong.
1 in 4.
Does it have anything to do with whether you normally toss with your right hand?
This was given to members of Parliament as a question in 2012. 60% of MPs got it wrong.
That's not encouraging.
I have to be very honest. I'm phobic about maths.
No, I understand.
But actually, it's very beautiful, isn't it? It's really...
Oh, I know, I
wish
love
one
it,
could be
yeah.
turned on to it.
Yep.
I'm going to get turned on tonight to maths.
I'm not counting the which coin does a thing. I'm still sticking with 3.
Then you
You're
get
still
one-
wrong.
And you're still wrong. And of course, ordinary people who are not MPs are just as fallible. In fact, 74% got it wrong. Only 3% more stupid than the Labour MPs. There was a £3 burger, the A&E company. People preferred it to the McDonald's version, but it
Yeah.
failed. And when people were asked why they didn't buy it,
It's
they
not
said,
as big
"Well,
as a
it's
quarter
car."
pounder.
So it's only a third, it's not a quarter.
Oh my God.
And this is the most
It's-
powerful nation on earth.
But this is also the nation where 9 out of 10 high school graduates think that Joan of Arc is Noah's wife, so...
Yes. Now, when you take the cards out and give them a good shuffle. Good shuffle. I can do the same.
Just shuffle them.
Shove your cards in here.
Oh, all right then.
All right. Thank you. Oh, good take.
Is this going to be one of those Darren Brown ones where we all can't eat for a week or something?
No. It's just about probability. It's not a big... All right. We'll give it all a good shake. All right, so you take one card out. Don't look. Okay, so the point is about probability.
What are the odds that any of their cards
Second
match?
card, the probability it's going to be the same card is quite small. The chances that you get all the cards the same is about 1 in 2 billion. Yours is a 6 of clubs, all right.
Me?
Okay, and you reveal your... Oh, my God! Oh! You reveal yours?
Oh, surely not.
No! Oh, my God! Mine as well! Oh, there you go. Fine. How can that happen?
Bravo. Well tricked.
Burn him. So, tell me now, do animals count?
From what I
Some
know,
ravens can
there are
count.
some animals that can count.
Well,
Yes,
they
you're right.
all lined up for Noah.
And that's a fact story.
That's a fact
true
story,
fact story.
so...
Fact story.
There must be a rhesus monkey with an accountancy degree. There must
But
be.
you're spot on. Not only monkeys, but pigeons, parrots, raccoons, ferrets, rats, salamanders, honeybees, monkeys, and apes. Count, add, and subtract. Cormorants can count up to 7. Now, how do you know that?
Take
Well,
7 fish back to the nest.
Chinese fishermen have trained them to catch fish for them. And what they do is they put a ring around their throat so that they can't swallow fish themselves. Once they get past 7, on the 8th, they get rid of the ring and the cormorant can catch its own.
And there used to be a bear at Regent's Park Zoo in the 1920s that was fed biscuits by the general public, and on Mondays it was half price, and so they got a lot more biscuits, and so on Tuesdays the bear used to take the day off.
Yes, that's it.
Maybe they need to count how many kids they
Yes,
they
yeah.
have, and they can tell if one of them's gone missing.
Although ducks are
You know.
rubbish at that, they are. I was on a houseboat for many, many years, and we're forever trying to get baby ducks to join back up with mother, who'd just gone off. I suffer from a fatal condition, Aisling, which is posh voice, no money.
And there are mosquito fish, which is a kind of carp, and they are able to count, it seems. If they're harassed by a male, they can detect the difference between just 1 or 2, or 2 or 3, or 3 or 4. They can't tell the difference between 4 and 5. It may be because the male mosquito fish has the largest penis of any fish
Oh, God.
relative to its body. It's 70% of its length. And it's barbed.
I don't think it's possible to come on this programme and not discuss the penis. I don't.
Not while I've got a breath in my body. Now, why don't bankers give a damn what people think of them?
Because they're psychopaths and
Yes,
they lack empathy.
psychopath too.
Yeah.
In their world, it all seems fine what they do.
That's probably true. But there's a funny thing about money. People watch the money. You can't help it. It's very human.
You know, the first time you get a load of cash in your hand, what's the one where Demi Moore rolls around the bed on the money? Indecent
Indecent
Proposal.
Proposal,
And she
yeah.
puts so I've done that with
Goldman,
like
was
40
it?
quid, but it does feel. It does feel if you
In
can.
change.
The physical proximity to money changes the way you feel. Being close to money makes you care less about what people think of you.
That must be quite a new thing because money's quite new. They used to be like, you know,
Yeah,
you
but
used to
also-
when you had a good night.
People use real physical money less and less. So I wonder if that's still true.
The ones who handle the money are not offended when told that nobody wanted to work with them. The ones that handled the paper were offended.
I've got a Scottish fiver.
Coming here, trying to buy England.
It can make you feel safer.
Even if it isn't yours.
Yeah, even because you
just
can
the
buy
feel
your
of
way
it.
out of any trouble, as we all know. It's just you just buy your way.
Really?
Yeah. So
What illegal substance can be found in the pockets of most of our audience, and how did it get there?
Cocaine. Because it's on banknote.
Is the right answer?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, almost every banknote has traces of cocaine.
More than 99% of banknotes in circulation have detectable cocaine.
because it's a good way of smuggling drugs up north, the sleeper train.
You don't want to go on the train. You want to get an actual mule. Nobody is going to expect
No.
somebody
drug
to have
mule.
drugs on a mule. You know,
I love someone arriving into Glasgow on a mule.
on a mule.
Nothing to see.
All right, lads. Can you clean it off? I mean, I don't want it.
Not really, no.
You can get it off Canadian money because ours is plastic now.
Now let's leave the filthy moolah. What do moon starers do, and why might they call themselves that?
Well, the clue would appear to be in the question.
It's
Yep.
too obvious. I'd say they watch bare arses.
Steve, this is an anagram of astronomers.
Yay! Points to you.
Oh, nicely done. Nicely done.
It's not an anagram. It's an aptogram. Sorry.
I'll never win the Sandy Times,
An aptogram is an anagram where the word means roughly the same.
Like Apple Macintosh and laptop machines.
Semolina is no meal.
In what time in history was that a relevant thing? The idea of anagrams and astronomers.
Well, it must have been around the time of Galileo, surely.
It was indeed.
But he wouldn't have spoken English, so why would he have changed his name to Moonstarer?
This is an example of an anagram. He didn't use English anagrams, he used
Latin.
Latin. Why would they have used Ars Magna, great art? In Latin?
Oh, and that's moon as the arse.
An
magnet,
anagram
and-
of anagrams. Even in his day, there was scientific rivalry. So if you discovered something and you wanted to tell a friend about it, you didn't want anyone else to intercept the news, you gave it in anagram form.
It's like codes at school.
Kepler. And he sent him an anagram because he'd discovered the rings of Saturn in 1610.
Not Saturn, that's Uranus.
Pretty obvious what he's putting there.
Yep.
That's
Feel bad. It's more important that the audience work out.
You're right.
I don't want to spoil the joy for you.
You're right. I've observed the highest planet to be triplets.
Does he mean he's seen the moons of it or something? What does he mean by
Well, he
triplets?
thought they were moons, but in fact we now know them to be rings.
I think it's quite clever. I didn't even thought about it, but they worked out their planets because they were moving across the sky and the stars weren't. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Why is that star moved? It's not a star, it's Jupiter.
Yeah, and planet is from the Greek for wanderer. It means a wanderer.
Once a month in Reykjavik, the government would turn out all the street lighting, and there would be a lecture on the public radio about the stars. And people would go
brilliant.
outside. Do you not think that would be
That
a
is
wonderful-
brilliant.
Superb,
Yeah,
superb.
yeah.
It's the kind of thing you can do in a country with a population of
I
300,000.
invite you to recite to me.
Oh.
See if you can.
Huh?
And you can do it.
Can you?
Yep.
Yes, you can. It is a limerick.
Okay.
A dozen and 12 dozen.
A dozen
Yeah,
plus a
12, but
gross.
144 is also
A gross.
Gross.
So, a dozen, a gross, a
A score.
plus 3 times the square root of 4.
4.
Divided by 7. You're
Plus-
You're doing well.
Plus 5 times 11.
Slap you.
The episode of QI where Stephen just slapped me.
So say it again as a limerick. You can do it now.
Yes, yes.
Go on.
Go on then, Susan.
A dozen,
A dozen.
A dozen and gross.
a dozen of gross and a score, plus 3 times
the square root of 4,
divided by 7,
plus 5 times 11
equals
equals 9 squared
plus another
plus-
bit more. There you are. 12 plus 1
Yes.
equals 11 plus 2?
It does.
Yeah, but in what other ways does 12 plus 1 equals 11 plus 2?
Oh, is it an anagram then?
They're anagrams of each other. 12 plus 1, written out, is an anagram of 11 plus 2.
Wow, you really have had too much time
Yeah,
on
good.
your hands.
Now, what's the biggest mistake anyone's ever made with a pencil?
I say.
Well, there was that satellite
lead poisoning.
It's not a historical.
went terribly wrong, like $200 million wrong
It's in New York.
because of imperial versus metric.
Eased it in, and it was all fine.
Chapter 4. I eased it in and it was all fun.
There was a problem with pencils.
Problem with pencils.
Pencil problem. Pencils given to children.
Ah, drugs. Was it the one? Oh, it's
Time for drugs. They say here, too cool to do drugs. You shave it,
Yeah.
and it goes cool to do drugs. And it goes, do drugs. And then in the Australian Morning Bulletin, which of course is called The Bully, they said there was an error printed in a story titled Pigs Float Down the Dawson. The story by reporter Daniel Burden said that more than 30,000 pigs were floating down the Dawson River. Actually, what the owner of the piggery said was that 30 sows and pigs. Rather tragically, a group of volunteers in 1992 in France who had volunteered to get rid of graffiti in the caves, and they had a great big
Oh, did they get rid of real cave paintings?
Oh no, not
got rid
ancient
of
cave
a
paintings.
15,000-year-old bison painting. Yeah.
About the law in Ireland recently. There were 2 within the 1 week. The first one was where drugs were legal for 48 hours.
Oh, yes.
And people just went nuts. Well, they didn't go nuts. They said, we're going to go nuts, but we won't really, just in case we get in trouble. And then the other one was the translation of the Marriage Act in English, the translation in Gaelic, forbid marriage between a man and a woman. It said marriages between men or women. But it's not.
Now, why did failure to sell mirrors massively improve modern media?
Because you can't put a mirror on a selfie stick.
Well, selfies, oddly enough, are rather close to it. People used to go on pilgrimages.
Some kind of shrine or something.
Shrine relics.
Relics,
Relics.
I love a good relic.
Bones, material. And they were so popular that you might go there, you couldn't even get close to it. So you'd hold up a selfie stick. It would be a box with a lid, and the lid was a mirror. And the mirror would see and go down into the box, and you'd close the box, and you'd go home, and it contained the images in your head, at least, of the holy relics.
Seriously?
Really?
One of the best pieces of medieval marketing I've ever heard.
And so this person we're talking about made mirrors for pilgrims, but unfortunately he didn't sell any. So he went back to his hometown of Mainz, and in 1450 he produced something that changed the world
Gutenberg.
forever.
That's Gutenberg.
Souvenir mugs.
He created printing. He created the printed word.
Johann Gutenberg.
Thank you, audience. But unfortunately, the mistake was he went to basically a kind of dragon's den who funded him. The dragons took all the money. He died destitute in 1468.
One of the first printers in Britain was called Winken de Word. Do you
Yes,
think
he
that's
was.
so delightful?
There's a society, a Winken Society.
Society,
Yeah. We've even spent a bit of money on a mathematical machine. Yeah, you'd be impressed with that. It does a bit,
Oh, are
doesn't
we
it?
going to prove
What is it, Stephen?
Pythagoras'
I just want
law
to know
here?
who first proved the theorem that this model demonstrates.
That's Pythagoras.
Pythagoras!
No,
My grandfather, who was from
Pythagoras.
Hungary, always pronounced it Pythagoras.
I literally just watched the episode where he talked about this.
What is it? The theorem that needs to be
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
The big one should go into the other two.
So you can see here, the yellow, that's the triangle. These are its two sides. And these are the squares of the two sides. How can we show they're equal? Well, they're all
If
kinds
it's
of ways.
liquid,
Here's one
easy.
way.
Oh, that's very clever.
Yeah.
Does it equal y squared as well?
I need to go to the toilet.
Filling up, it's filling up, it's filling up, it's full. And there it is. Isn't that satisfactory? Highly satisfactory. Euclid demonstrated it before him, but we give it the name of Pythagoras.
Before him,
The
nothing.
greatest. Yeah, well done to Euclid. We love Euclid. So, by the end of Elizabeth I's reign, there was a really extraordinary number of English dukes. 5 points for every one you can name. Just have to name one.
Oh, lads.
Norfolk.
Every one you can name.
Cambridge.
Hazard. Dukes of Hazard.
Thought you were getting away with one there, Aisling.
Is it some devilish trick and there aren't any at all?
Well, I said it was an extraordinary number. The extraordinary number is none.
None.
Exactly.
I fell for that one.
There were certainly no royal dukes because royal dukes are issue of the Monarch, and there were also no other dukes.
And they were always into music, and that's where you get the jukebox, which is...
I think you've understood it 100%.
But we still have to see if the QI audience has solved the sweet jar challenge. The idea is we would arrive at the wisdom of crowds, and no one individually got it right, but he noticed that if you added up all the guesses, the average, it was exactly on the weight.
Wow.
We're hoping we'll get that here. So, 1,500. 6,024,000. Right.
1,000's my answer.
1,966. 12.
Yeah, just in case.
Just in case.
What I
Price
see
is Right
isn't
rules.
what it appears to be.
Or the average of the audience's guess is 2,412. The actual number of Smarties in that jar is 3,890. So, the audience are the closest. Oh my actual, oh my actual. So, in first place with a magnificent 2 points, it's Aisling B! With an earth-shattering 0, it's Sandy Toxvig.
A big old 0.
A more than respectable -6, Susan Calman. And on his terms, really quite handsome, -43, Alan Davis.
Yeah, he ate a couple for the team there.
Good night.
That was a fun one, and I'm trying to remember whether I've seen Sandy as a guest before. She's certainly a smart cookie. She's got a brain on her. I was impressed with Alan in this episode too, at least until he said the odds of throwing 2 heads was 1 in 3. Just come on, man. I'm disturbed by the public's inability to do math in general, but I've always been a numerophile, so I know I've got a skewed view of math and numbers in general. That was a fun episode. Aisling's always a blast. I feel like I've seen Susan before, but I don't know whether it's here on QI or I stumbled across her on like an episode of Would I Lie to You or something, but she's definitely familiar. Anyhow, thank you to those of you who recommended this episode to me. I'd love to get more recommendations in the comments below. And until next time, everybody, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.